When we first got to know each other and we first got married, I actually found out that he was very much into pornography. I was very badly sexually abused as a child, and so this brought back huge of me. And I just couldn't quite understand, and I'm thinking that, gosh, I don't think I really want to sleep with this person who is looking at other women. So it was a difficult time. I said, look, come on, what's going on here? And we were having problems in our marriage. And so I confronted him. I said, look, what's going on? You know, you've got to tell me, because otherwise I'm going to leave. To be honest, it was a huge release for me in my marriage that I began to understand who this person was that I'd married, you know, with the feminine side, and it made him happier. It made him so much happier to be who he was, and that for me is really important. He was much kinder to me, I think, and because he could be who he wanted to be, our relationship deepened. I kept on calling him he, and you know, yeah, he, this, or you know, I'm beginning to be better. I'm better now than I was, but it's quite tricky. Come on, you know, a woman, you know, who married Andy, and is then to have to come and to accept Andrea and she is quite tricky.
I think I'm still trying to discover the balance of masculine and feminine that I am. So I suppose I don't really see it as being feeling a need to be more one or more the other. It's more a case of being at a position that I'm comfortable with. So I don't feel one side taking over at the expense of the other. I see them both kind of adding to each other, really. My co-workers don't know about Andrea. I think it's because you never quite know how people are going to react, and if it's like if you say something to somebody, words are tricky things, so you can't unsay them or undo them. So if I was to say something to them and that made the work environment kind of really too stressful for them, then I can't kind of say, well, pretend it doesn't exist, it didn't happen. But I feel as though I've got the right to be myself, because I can't be anybody else. But I don't want who I am to kind of mess up other people unnecessarily. The approach we've taken is people that have needed to know, we've told, and other people we've not hidden it, but if they don't, we don't go out of our way to kind of push Andrea in people's faces.
That's 6 years, 7 years, but it does seem longer than that.
Probably argued a lot over stuff that didn't really matter. I have a feeling in life there's a tendency for people to do that sometimes. Things that really matter just get left in the background.
There was something going on and I didn't know, and I couldn't quite get Andy just to talk about it and to be open, and so that frustrated me because I knew there was some huge secret. And I'm being my naive bit, I thought, God, what's happening here? And he did actually have an affair of the internet, which was quite harmful, hurtful.
Or was it a virtual one rather than an actual one, if that makes any sense? We never met, so it was a...
Yeah, but they were pretty, you said some pretty, you know, sexual things.
It's mostly a place where people meet. Because people meet together, they offer support for each other. There are quite a lot of people that the first time they've ever appeared in public dressed as a girl has been Surrey Swans. In an email, they'll maybe say, you'll be able to recognise me because I'll be the person that's walking across the car park looking terrified, which is usually what people feel. They feel frightened of appearing in public. It has a separate entrance, so it means that people can get into the place without having to walk through the main bar. And I think especially for people that have never had a chance to go out dressed before, then that makes a big difference. I think that the idea of having to walk through a bar of people that might kind of not be sympathetic is not something they find easy.
Well, the Surrey Swans approached me just over 10 years ago, so it's 10 years young now, and they approached me and they asked me my opinion, if I would allow them to come in. I said, why not? I said, but if you do, just to save embarrassment to yourselves or some of the customers, if you go in the stable bar, there'll only be you using it, you'll have a barmaid to look after you and so forth, and we all agreed, and that's what they've done ever since. They don't come in here, they go in the stable bar because it's ideal, because it's separate from the general public. The Surrey Swan Club is not allowed in the main bar. The reason being is I don't want confrontation from customers or from themselves getting embarrassed because people say things to them.
Too comfortable about going in the bar of where we are here. If they're standing outside when I get out of the car, I haven't got the total confidence to walk right up and then come back down the path. I hesitate and I don't know why, and I think that's built-in intuition. I had been warned one time in my local pub not to go because two of the chaps were going to follow me home and possibly attack me.
Much as I enjoy a nice quiet evening in the stable bar talking with friends, it's great. It was good fun to get into the main bar where the performance was going on. I'm not normally I'm not normally a punk fan, but the atmosphere in there was terrific, and they obviously appreciated the fact that we went in there to listen to them, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you, we really don't care. Much like yourselves, we don't care.
What does the future hold for Andy, Sally and Andrea?
A happier marriage, I think. Go for it. Yeah, and I think as long as we can still be open and honest with each other, and freedom to be who we want to be. My role is actually helping other women who have got transvestite husbands, to be able to share with them and be open and say, look, you can come and chat to me. This is how I felt and this is how I've accepted Andrea. So I just think that, I think life's a journey, and I feel that's my role that I can offer.
Encourage people to know that they're not alone in it, really, and it's not actually what seems totally bizarre from one perspective once upon a time just doesn't seem so bizarre at all, really. It's just people, really.
Thank you.